friends, welcome back to Food Prep Guide. Today we are going to be making instant rice. So this is the same type of minute rice you can get at the store. It's the type of rice that cooks up really fast, and all it is dehydrated rice that you've already cooked and then dehydrated. So let's get started.
By the way, if you would like help building your food storage, scroll down to the description box of this video and click this link for our free 1-year food storage plan. We calculated a year's supply of food for one person, then broke that data down into a week-by-week list of items to build your pantry on a budget. We'll send it straight to your inbox. If you're new here, we invite you to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss all of our upcoming food preservation, pantry storage, and gardening tutorials. Now back to the kitchen.
So I realized the other day that I am completely out of my instant rice, and I usually store it in a half-gallon mason jar, and I try to make up enough to fill up one of these, but sometimes I go a little bit over because I usually like to do 10 cups of rice at a time, and that just gives me some time between when I have to do this task again. About 10 cups of minute rice usually last our family about 3 months. So to make this rice, the first step is just to cook your white rice or brown rice, ever how you cook your rice. I always cook my rice in my pressure cooker. And when you're cooking it in a pressure cooker, it is not instant, it is equal parts rice and water. Now normally when I'm cooking rice, I will throw in a tablespoon of butter because it just gives the rice a really very subtle but good flavor. But when I'm dehydrating, I don't put the butter in it because dairy doesn't dehydrate well. So I've already got my rice measured out here. I've measured out 5 cups, which is going to yield approximately 10 cups cooked. And I've already rinsed it really well under cold water. So I'm going to add that to my pressure cooker here. And to that, we need equal parts of water. Now remember, that's just for the pressure cooker. You'll probably need double the amount of water for rice if you're cooking it on your stovetop. And to that, I always add a little bit of salt. For 5 cups of rice, I'm going to go ahead and add 1 teaspoon of salt. Mix that around a little bit. Okay, 5 cups rice, 5 cups water, 1 teaspoon salt, and I'm going to pressure cook this for 7 minutes. And we'll be back for the next step when that's done. Okay, our rice is done, and I did forget to mention it, and it's important to mention just in case anyone is new to cooking rice in a pressure cooker. I did make sure that my pressure valve up here was set to airtight before I clicked the on button. And I also allowed for a natural release. So when using a pressure cooker, you have the option to allow for a natural release, which is when you let the pressure come down naturally, or you can do a quick release where you can very carefully with like an oven mitt or something turn this knob to exhaust and allow that pressure and steam to come out quicker. But for rice, I usually do a natural release. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a fork and I'm going to fluff this rice just so it won't dehydrate into big clumps. Now it's just a matter of laying them on our dehydrator trays. So I have an Excalibur, so I have 5 trays here that I'm going to be loading up. And I'm hoping that these 10 cups are going to be just enough to fill it up good. Just going to scoop it out and then I'll flatten it out really good with my spatula here in a minute. Oops, a bay leaf. I store bay leaves in my rice to deter pests. Okay. Make sure you can see this good. I'm just going to spread these out evenly on my dehydrator tray. I was fluffing it very gently because I didn't want to scrape that metal fork up against my metal pot. so I didn't get it nice and fluffy as good as I wanted to. So I'm just using my spatula to kind of try to break up the clumps here. Okay. Just going to try and spread it out so that there's enough airflow to where everything will dehydrate evenly. We want everything in a single layer as much as possible. When it comes to rice, with a lot of things with dehydrating, we want space to be in between each item, but some things are not even realistic to do that, and rice is one of them. So it's totally okay for it to be touching. We just want it in a single layer. We wouldn't want to heap it up on the tray. Okay, I'm going to call that good. Here's what it looks like. And this is going to go into my dehydrator, and I'm going to dehydrate at 125 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're just going to go until it's done. That can change depending on environmental factors, but generally it's going to be done in around 7 to 8 hours. But when it's done and I take it out, we will go over the signs to look for thorough dryness. Be back then. The rice is done. I just took it out of the dehydrator. So let's talk about signs that it's done. The main thing is just going to be, you can break it apart, you can squeeze the rice, and there's not going to be any moisture. You're not going to see any moisture or feel any moisture, and it's going to be very hard. And all of those criteria are met, and this is done. I started this load, I think it's about 10 o'clock. It is now 5:40-ish, so what is that, 7.5-ish hours. So I think we were right on target between that 7 and 8 hour mark. So this next step is, it's not absolutely necessary, but I really don't want the rice to go into my jars in these large clumps. So what I'm going to do is put the rice, and I'm just doing one tray for demonstration, but I've got plenty more to do. I'm just going to put it in this bowl, and then I'm going to take my mason jar masher thing, and I'm just going to gently break up those big clumps. Okay, now I'm going to start loading up my jar. I should really have a funnel for this. Let me grab a funnel real quick. Okay. Okay, and I will just continue to fill up my jar here with all the rest of the trays, and that is how you make instant rice or minute rice like at the store. I hope that was helpful to y'all, and we will see you next time. Bye.